Hello, welcome back to Hot Flash Happy Hour, where we talk about menopause, identity shifts, women's health, energy, purpose, and all the messy, meaningful stuff that shows up in this stage of life. I'm Tori.
And I'm Kat. And today we are talking about something that has been coming up everywhere lately in our course, in our client sessions, and in our own lives, which is values, time, and energy boundaries. And why so many women reach a point where what they used to tolerate just doesn't work anymore.
Yes, and if you found yourself thinking lately, why do I suddenly have less patience? Or why does everything feel like too much? You're not broken and you're not becoming antisocial. There's actually a deeper reason for that shift. But before we dive into that, let's do a quick catch up like we always do, because real life doesn't pause between episodes. So, what's been happening in your world since we last recorded, Kat?
Well, I don't know, I can't even remember if I shared it in the last podcast. I don't think I did, but I'm back at the gym doing some strength training for my bones and weight loss, part of my journey at the moment. I've actually lost 4.6 kilos since in 3 weeks, which is very
Oh,
exciting.
wow.
My inflammation is reducing, which has been the main sort of precursor to it all, the bones and the joints and all of that menopause stuff. So that's been helping a lot. I've actually been this round been enjoying the gym more because it's been, I think, more focused on what I'm doing, on the parts that I'm working. So not just going there and going through the motion, just because. So that's been very exciting. I've had some great healing sessions with some clients and got some good testimonials. So getting, I guess, with part of the information and the weight and everything like you've shared before, my brain feels a bit clearer. So I'm not having so much brain fog at the moment, which is really good. Um, yeah, so it's been pretty busy, but it's been good.
Yeah, nice. For me, I know I had to try and think, hang on, when did we last record and what have I done since then? Because I think I mentioned last time we recorded that I was going away on a cruise, which I did. Went on a cruise from Brisbane to Cairns and back. That was pretty nice. It was nice to that was just with my stepmom and my step nieces.
Seems
And
so long ago.
I know it does. It doesn't. It doesn't. I don't know. Time's been going by so quick. Like I can't believe we're in like or over halfway through February already.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, that was a nice time to just like I. It's funny. I actually had this intention before I left that I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to read a lot because I love to read and I don't always have time to read um and I actually found myself all the times when I did just have time to myself because I made sure every day I did have that time to myself and I wasn't just with my stepmom and my nieces. But I'd be sitting at the back of the ship with every intention of reading, and I would literally just sit there and just look out at the ocean and just do nothing. I literally just do nothing, which I never do. I'm terrible at doing nothing. But I just needed it. Like my body was like, no, we don't want to think. We're just going to look at the ocean. And
What a beautiful form of meditation, though.
it
So
was just,
cool.
I know, just nothing but the deep blue sea, and and people around, obviously, yeah. So that was actually really good. Got some really good weather there, so that was great. Um, And then came home and I don't know, I've just felt like I've been super busy. First week back was super busy, just getting back, catching up on everything. And then I got really sick. So I don't know if it was food poisoning or some kind of bug that I'd picked up on the cruise. I don't know, but I had this. I won't go into details, but it was not a pleasant bug, and it really wiped me. Um, so I said,
Set you on your tracks.
so yeah, that just really pained me, and then the week after and also I had donated plasma, like, the day before I got sick,
Mm.
so probably, like, it extra depleted me, and then the week after I kind of was starting to feel better, I had the worst period ever. So, even now, I'm still so it's funny that, Kat, you've been getting back into the gym and you're feeling great. I actually am kind of the opposite at the moment where because I was came back from the cruise and I was all like gung ho, like, yep, getting back into everything, because obviously being on the cruise, I was, drinking a bit and not eating the best. And so, um, had all these plans, and I really haven't had the chance to do it. Like, I'm just sort of this week slowly starting to get myself back into feeling normal and getting back into activities and eating better and, so and funnily enough,
Mm.
because I haven't been doing all those things, um, I have got like, I feel yuck, I've got body aches, I feel and, part of that's from being sick, but I think part of it is, like, the hormone thing. Like I said, my period was one of the worst ones I've had in a long time and just so, yeah, looking forward to I had this headache for, like, days now that I know it's all hormone kinda related, so, as well as being run down, so
How many times have we said, "When you're up, I'm down. When I'm up, you're down."
we can't.
Perfect example.
Every now and then we sync, but yeah, but no, it's not all been doom and gloom, like, I am
Mm.
feeling a lot better this week than what I have been, last week. My baby was that last week? No, week before. Oh my god, 9 days ago, my baby boy turned 21, which is crazy.
Wow.
Um, Having a party for him, at the end of this month, and so I've been busy getting organised for that. And I don't know what else. Oh, we've just been recording the last little bits of our Becoming Her course.
Yeah.
So that should be all sorted very soon. And yeah, I think that will do for my life catch up. Oh gosh. All right. So let's get into this episode, which actually we have so many different ideas for podcast episodes, and then sometimes like we go through them and then we're like, oh, this one doesn't feel right now. We'll do that at another time. And this time we decided, well, let's actually pick something that's actually is from the course, our Becoming Her course, and sort of talk about it a bit more, which is how we came about, values and time and energy boundaries. And just, yeah, setting boundaries is definitely something we all need to learn how to do better.
Mm,
So
definitely.
getting into it, one thing that we teach inside Becoming Her is that values aren't fixed. They evolve, and this stage of life is one of the biggest value shift periods most women will ever go through. Earlier in life, we often value being productive, being needed, being reliable, being everything to everyone. We say yes because that's who we believe we're supposed to be. But then something changes. Peace becomes more important than praise. Space becomes more important than being busy. Honest connection becomes more important than pleasing people. And a lot of women don't realize this is what's happening. They just feel tired, irritated, or restless.
Yeah, so what I've found is, and I think I've spoken about this before, is you get to the stage emotionally, like you just don't carry the drama anymore. You don't want to get involved in the drama. It's kind of like your values and your perspective does shift. What you will let into your energy field or into your body, what you will take on and what you just will not. That seems to be a big one for me at the moment. Um, making sure it's hard to say because I'm late at night. So, making sure that I do get some sleep so that I'm not tired and irritated and all of that, because that is something that comes with obviously that we deal with the menopause, but also when we're not looking after ourselves. Like you said, how you're feeling at the moment, that impacts all areas of our lives.
Mm.
So it all kind of intertwines and links in,
Yeah.
with each other.
Yeah, yeah, and it's true. Our values definitely do change. Like I think your core values really essentially are always the same, right? I mean, not always the same because you grow and you learn over time. But um, like I think for me, like, and I think I've mentioned this before too. Like one thing that I've noticed with me is that I used to always, value like pushing myself hard, and I had to be the best at this and
Yeah.
very competitive and,
Like
not
that
even
masculine
not even
energy.
egotistical, like I'm the best way because I've never been that, but,
Mm.
um,
But
just like,
masculine.
yeah, yeah, that masculine energy and, I've gotta get this
Yeah.
and then I've gotta keep doing it. I've gotta do everything for everyone because, that's who I am. I've gotta be there for everyone when they need me,
Mhm.
and I am now at that point of like, well, actually, no, I don't have to be because, all my children are adults.
Yep.
My husband apparently is an adult too, but I don't know. Um
Hi, Brad, if you're watching.
It's like this morning, I actually didn't sleep in fully, but I was, like, a bit, like, tired, and I had to get to a job this morning at, like, 7:30, and then he slept in too, then he's gotten up going, "Oh, can you help me find some clothes for work?" I'm like, "For God's sake, you know what?" Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
That
yeah, so now I am finding that that value shift has changed for me definitely, like, I'm realizing that, I don't value that as much as I used to. Yes, I still like to be there for people. Yes, I still like to be the one that helps, but I'm valuing myself, my own time, and my own things, and my own needs more.
yeah.
So, that is definitely something where yeah. And
You
that's
don't have
obviously
to
why
lean on them all the time.
yes, that's right. And that's why we've included values in this and, because
Mm.
it is related to your time and energy boundaries and the boundaries you set in your life.
Yeah.
And how well you do that because, back then, old Tori with those values would didn't really have any of those boundaries for myself. I just,
Yeah.
made myself available anywhere, everywhere,
Yeah.
pushed myself too hard. Um, so yeah, but
Definitely.
now I'm getting better at setting boundaries.
Slow process, but we get there. Um, so with time versus energy, I think one of the biggest misunderstandings is that people think this is about time, but it's actually about your energy. So you can technically have free time and still feel completely unavailable.
Yep.
You know, it. I guess it sometimes it does it. It's one or the other, but it doesn't have to be one or the other.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
If
I've
that makes
noticed that.
sense.
So, yeah, 2 hours free doesn't necessarily mean 2 hours usable. Like, for instance, my time on the ship here, I was thinking, "Oh, yes, I'm gonna have all this time to read." And I was like my brain was like, No, we don't have the energy for that. We just want to sit and
Exactly.
do nothing."
So you redirect your energy to just
That's
staring out at the ocean and just
right. Yeah,
meditating.
yeah. Because if your nervous system is fried or your hormones are fluctuating or you've been emotionally on for people all day, you're done. And yeah, and look, I still have those moments where I'm like, "Well, I have to get shit done," so I do push myself through. I'm not, like I still do that because that's just who I am, but there are those days too, and especially lately because I haven't been well, where I've just been like, "No, just you don't have to do that. It'll be there tomorrow."
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
then yeah, I might have had that time free, but I also to do that, but I just didn't basically just couldn't.
Yeah.
So that's, yeah, do you have any more on that, Kat?
Well, just with sort of I guess the time and energy, and I know it's a trap that we can all fall into, is if we are on task with doing something, whether it's work or, something on your computer, something personal related you need to do on your computer. Um, I know for me, I can jump on my computer or even on my phone to do some work and Facebook will pop up. So
Mm.
then we start that doom scrolling.
Yep. Oh god,
And
yes, I am.
it's not
I
even it's not even about anything in particular. It can be damn dog videos or something. But that energy that I could have put into my work, I'm now procrastinating by doom scrolling. And it's like, I'll just have one more video, one more post, and you just,
Yep,
and that is taking up, and actually half of the stuff in there is not even good news. You're watching all that rubbish.
yep,
So that's taking up my energy
yes,
that I can be putting into something, more practical and getting stuff done, getting shit
agreed.
done. So
I have, yes,
setting a timer or
I
something.
don't
I
know
don't
if you
know.
see that. It's faded a bit now. Can you see it, Kat?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's our cups. But, that's a form of procrastination too. It's like, oh, just you get in that trap.
Yeah,
So that's and then I guess when your hormones are fluctuating, when you're in the menopause, you get in that I can't be bothered mode. So you do sit there and doom scroll.
mhm,
And then you find it hard to get out of that.
yes. So,
So
yeah,
working on
so
that.
on that, that's a different kind of boundary that you need to set for yourself,
Yeah.
and, I have actually now I did have, like, the on my phone, like, you can set limits for, like, time spent on certain things, but it's easy to get out of those.
Mm.
So, or ignore limit for 15 minutes or whatever. So, Now I've actually gotten this app that actually does, like, will literally just block it out, and you can't get in. You have to go into that app to then go take a break or to turn it off. And I found that because that's an extra step that I have
Break your
to
heart.
do,
Yeah.
I'm finding that that is, yeah, stopping me from doing that kind of thing too much. And, and I'm not just doom scrolling. I really badly lately, for some reason, have just gotten very much into, like, what's going on in the US and, the Epstein files and this and that, and I'm seeing all these things, and then I find myself like, reading through all the comments. I'm like, "Oh my god, what are you doing? Like, you're just wasting your time." Like, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. Like, it matters, obviously, but reading all the comments and, all the I'm like, "No, just."
And then draining your energy as
And it
well.
was draining
Yeah.
mine. That's right, because 'cause I'm like, "Well, I'm just reading all this negative shit." So, I
And
don't.
what's another example? I mean, another example could be because there are um so many like I guess support workers out there at the moment, or there's
Mm,
still work from home people. Admittedly, not as many, but it's setting that boundary with a boss or a client. I
yeah,
have logged off for now and not um giving into the temptation of answering the phone, of answering a text
yep,
when it's 6 or 7 o'clock at night, because they don't have their boundaries in place, doesn't mean that you need to answer that. So I know there's something that's come in about, the boss can't do whatever, but people
yeah,
still fall into that. They don't give it a second thought. They pick up their phone and text
mhm.
or call, not realizing, and I'm being guilty of that too, not realizing what the time is, that there is boundaries around that.
Yeah, definitely. That is a big one for me. Because I do work for many different people. I do support work. I also work for a real estate, as well as doing our business, which we're doing more business now, thankfully. But yeah, same thing. Like, I would often just, see the phone call from, the guy that I work for, and I'd answer any time of the day, or, get a text message saying, "Can you do this?" And I'd be like, "Oh, yeah, okay, I'll just, go do it." Um,
Begrudgingly do it. Mm.
Begrudgingly do it, yes.
Mhm.
Or, I did with support work, I did have a client there for a while who just kind of wanted me to hear, and I was kind of like, bantering to her needs instead of, it just wasn't really working. So yeah, I'm learning, still learning
Yeah.
to get at it. Like, I literally actually got a text message this morning from, one of the real estate guys saying, "Oh, I really need this done urgently," and I had to say, and even though I probably coulda quickly done it, I was like, "Well, no," because Pat and I had set time aside today to work on the business. Like, we'd recorded some stuff for the course and done that, and then now we're doing our podcast, and I was like, "Sorry, no, I can't." So, this is my time that I set for me. So, yeah, and look, sometimes with work, you can't say no, and you have to, every now and then there are those things you've just gotta do. But yeah. Sometimes you've gotta realize, well, actually, no, I don't have to be available 24/7.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So on to the next part. Why boundaries get stronger now, Tori?
Well, yes, there's a biological piece to this that I think doesn't get talked about enough, and that's the hormonal changes that affect our stress tolerance, our emotional bandwidth, our sensory tolerance, all of it. When women say, "I just can't deal with what I used to deal with," that's not weakness. That's physiology and awareness catching up with each other.
And spiritually and emotionally, identity is shifting too. So you're less willing to live out of alignment. You feel it faster.
Yep.
It's so
Yeah.
much quicker.
And irritation is often an early alignment signal. But yes, unfortunately, those pesky hormones of ours do tend to make us,
And
not
what's an
always, but we do
irritation?
have those moments of, yeah, less able, irritated, just like, "Oh, just couldn't be fucked."
And what's an irritation signal? Someone from work or a client or whatever asks you to do something at the most inappropriate time, and your signal is, ugh,
Yeah.
like
Oh, do I
there's
have
the
to
first
do
sign.
that?
But with that, generally it's an okay, yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
So again, you're doing it, you don't want to do it, so you haven't set your boundary. Whereas, as you said this morning, it was no sorry. Don't have to go into excuses or reasons
No.
why. Just you set your boundary and said no sorry. In your
Yeah.
mind, you've got other plans. Um, other things already pre-organized.
Yeah.
It can
And I
just
think
become
something through with that work, the next boundary I need to set is to be like, okay, I'm available for you for on this day at this time.
Yep.
That's it. If it's something super urgent, maybe like, yeah, I will do out of that time. But yeah, so that's something I need to. So yeah, I'm still learning, still working.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
so yeah, so when people hear boundaries, they imagine big dramatic conversations, but most healthy boundaries are actually quiet and practical. It could be things like not answering straight away, like we said, not over explaining, leaving earlier, not committing too far ahead, and building recovery time after busy days.
Yeah, so this is something that I'm working on as well.
Yeah.
It's and I kind of went over that before with, not answering straight away or
Yep.
putting your boundaries in with the time that you will and won't answer text messages and phones. If you're saying a no, you don't need to give an explanation. Your no should suffice or be enough. Yeah.
Mm. Yep.
Um, if you plan, like I know a boundary that one that we spoke about in our course is that you say yes to go to a social event, but you really don't want to,
Mm.
that's okay. If for whatever reason you decide to go, put a time limit. Have a time when you are willing to leave and
Yep.
say enough is enough. So you don't need to stay for the whole time. We were saying that, it can be, we just go sometimes and we don't want to because it's the fear of missing out. What are we going to miss out on the night? Or,
Yeah.
what's happening? But you don't need to stay the whole night. If it doesn't sit with you, you just can leave. No excuses needed. And then another thing is we commit so far ahead, like you said, as
Mm.
part of the boundaries. So committing a month, 2 months out to something that you have no idea if you're going to be able to go with that commitment. So working, I don't know, trying to work more in the present moment or
Yep.
week to week at a maximum. Um, and just, yeah, setting those kind of boundaries as well. Because then if you've got something set further out, you're going to stress about it. Can I do it? I don't know what I've got on then. What's the date? I don't know. It's just like we'll get to
Yeah.
that when we get to it. I don't
Yeah.
know if that makes sense, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, there's certain things like someone's wedding, you can't be.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, the other things, yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Um, which the other part of this whole setting boundaries thing, which women struggle with, is that we have guilt.
Yeah.
Because women feel guilty the moment they start protecting their own energy.
Yeah.
We've all had, all of us who are mums have all had that mum guilt. So if you've been the dependable one, the carer, the organizer, boundaries can feel like a betrayal at first. The guilt doesn't mean you're doing harm. It usually means you're doing something new. So
Mhm.
I know that is another thing I've had to work on. When it comes to family, and I mean more not just like my husband and my kids, but more my extended family. It's something setting that I feel guilt, I feel bad, or because I set these boundaries but I've learnt that I kind of had to because it was all getting too much with things that have been going on. I'm not going to go into details, but just certain family members that were draining my energy. And I had to set boundaries. Like one of those boundaries that I ended up setting was, there was a group chat, and I ended up just turning the notifications off on it so that I could look at those messages when I chose to look at those messages instead of having them go off, is like when I'm trying to go to sleep or, I do have one particular family member that it's fine. Everything's good now, but I used to have this guilt that if I didn't answer their phone call, I was worried about what they were gonna do to themselves. So, that's
Mhm.
a hard one, right?
Right.
Because, but then I also had to know that there were other people available to this person. It wasn't just all on me, and
Yeah.
if I didn't answer, I'm sure I know that someone else would have. So,
Mm.
it's those ones are hard, those ones are tough.
Such
It's
a hard
hard to
one.
have that guilt around that,
Yeah.
but it was really affecting me and draining my energy. And, not to say that I never answered, like when I felt like I was able to and could definitely be of help, yes.
Mhm.
Um, but I did have to start setting those boundaries, and those ones are hard, and they're the hard ones to not feel guilty about.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
But,
I agree.
you've gotta move past that and realize it's okay. It's okay
It
to protect yourself.
it is
If
okay.
you're not
Yep.
protecting yourself, then you're not gonna have the energy then to be there for people when they as well. So,
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
Yep. That that makes so much sense.
Mm.
Um, and it can be so much as, I guess, guilt with the kids.
Yeah.
You're saying no, and then there's such, as when you're a kid, you're such a great negotiator,
Mm.
and then you have the guilt trip because you relent.
Yep.
And I know I do that a lot. And then hubby gets annoyed because I relent. And it's like, you pick your battles, but they're at the age now where you need to start saying no and you need to accept no.
Yep.
You know, if it's a no for a reason. No negotiations, no making your mother feel bad. You
Yes.
know what I mean? Like, yeah. Oh, God.
Yes. Check those
Working on that
boundaries,
one.
Kat.
Yep, working on that one. Not real well yet, but we'll get there.
And
Mm.
speaking of the guilt thing too, it could even be something to do with friends. And I'll go back to love using our friend Becky. She doesn't mind. So, who I've done some coaching with. She's a lovely lady, but she's a very popular lady. And for that reason, people are always inviting her to different events. And she was so busy, like she's self-employed, she works a lot. And she was just finding she just was drained and didn't have time for everything, but then she would feel bad for saying no to these people asking her out to lunch or to a party or to an event or, just so many
Yep.
things.
Yeah.
And, and I said I kind of had to make her realize it's okay to say no. It's okay to say no to those things and not feel guilty. And if those friends get annoyed at you because you're wanting to take some time for yourself or for your own family, I said, "Well, then they're not real friends anyway, because your real
Yep.
friends, they're wanting to spend time with you because they really want to spend time with you. It shouldn't be about them."
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
so that's another thing where you need to learn to let go of guilt of like, you can't do everything. I mean, you can, but then you
Mm.
burn yourself out or you're not satisfied because, there's always somewhere where you're going to feel like, well, I'm dropping the ball because I can't do it all
Yep.
as much as you'd like to. We'd all love to. We all say we want to, but really, realistically, you're never gonna be able to do everything perfectly,
No.
and something's gonna give at some point.
And we just need to understand that and know that it's okay.
Yeah, I agree. No more guilt, people, alright?
No more guilt. Stop
Easier
having
said than
guilt.
done. That
Yeah.
one's definitely a harder one, but, and even if you do feel guilty, but at least you've set the boundary. So, yeah.
So we thought this week we would give you a little journal exercise that you can do. You're welcome to pause the podcast or come back to it. So just grab yourself a journal and see where you are feeling drained. So, but still saying yes. And that's usually a clue. Are you saying yes because it's expected of you? Are you saying yes because you feel guilty if you don't say yes? Are you saying yes because you feel like you need to go for the fear of missing out? Are you answering the phone when you know you shouldn't be, or running to text messages because you feel like you need to answer straight away, like Tori's example was? So just sit for 5 minutes and just journal where you are saying yes, where you really don't need to, and see how you feel. How drained? Does it drain your energy? Do you feel annoyed? Do you feel sad? Do you feel angry? What do you feel when you're saying yes when you should actually be saying no?
Yeah. And, another prompt as well is, and what matters more to you now than it used to? Because that answer explains a lot as well, like we mentioned before. Like, your values may have changed, and so the things that are more important to you now are different to what they used to be. And that will help give you some insight too into, 'cause some people aren't even sure where they need to set boundaries. They haven't really thought about it. Not
Mm.
until you start sort of, paying more attention to yourself and the way you're feeling and, stopping and reflecting. And yes, journaling can be it. That could help. And that might give you an idea of, okay, well, this is where I actually need to start setting some more boundaries.
I mean,
Um,
you can listen to all the courses and all the podcasts, and people can give you advice, but until you actually sit down and go sort of dive deep within yourself to get those answers, it's kind of just going to be another thing that you listen to or another thing that you watch. So
yeah.
give yourself the time and space to sit down and really think about that.
Yes. Yep. For sure. If you've noticed yourself becoming more protective of your time, your energy, your peace, you're not becoming difficult, you're becoming aligned. This is part of becoming the version of you that lives according to your truth instead of expectation.
Just know for yourself that boundaries aren't actually walls, they're just filters. They let the right things in and keep the draining things out. So while people feel so uncomfortable for putting up boundaries, they see it as like a hard brick wall in front of someone else. They're actually
Mm.
not. It's just what you're allowing to filter into your energy space or into your body and mind and what you're not. So just drain out what you don't need and keep what you want to say, what you actually want to say and feel, what you want to say and feel comfortable in saying yes for.
Yeah. And if if you're not very good at setting those boundaries, just pick something small to start. It's like with anything. You don't
Mm.
have to, overhaul your entire life in one day. Just pick a little thing. Just, it might even just be that, everyone in the house, you seem to be the one who's doing, majority of the housework or whatever. And so it's setting that
Mm.
boundary of like, well, no, I'm not doing that. And give one job away to someone else to have to do.
Yeah.
Um, or just, yeah, just start small like that, learn to start saying no to things that you don't feel like doing. I mean, look, it's life, right? There are always going to be things in life we have to do, but whether we feel like doing them or not. Like housework.
And it sounds like it's pretty simple. Like, yeah, this is logical. It makes sense. Duh. But when you're going through life, through family, through stuff, you find sometimes that your boundaries expand, not on purpose, not meaning to.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's just to keep people happy, to keep the family happy, or to keep work happy. And
yeah,
bit by bit, your boundary walls are going further and further out. So you're satisfying everyone else's needs, but draining your own energy and forgetting about that. So while it is simple and basic stuff, we sometimes either forget or we have not realized that we have let our boundary walls out so much.
yeah. And actually, one thing I want to mention as well that you might even find when you're setting certain boundaries, you might get a bit of pushback from
Yeah.
some people,
Mm.
be it family members or friends or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, and
Like, but
that's
you
okay.
need to do that. You
Yeah,
always do that for me.
yeah, or or you might even, and sometimes it's not until you actually explain to that person, well, this is why, and they kind of sit. I've found that once you've explained it to them, they're like, oh, like they don't even realize why
Yeah.
you would have needed that boundary.
Yeah.
So I think part of it too is, yes, set the boundary, but when you're setting boundaries with people, um,
Mm. Don't assume they know what's going
especially
on.
family, yeah. Explain why. Explain the reasoning, and they might
Yeah.
not and some people won't get it, and that's just them, and,
Yeah.
if that's the case, there's nothing you can do, you can't change their mind. That
No,
doesn't mean you should then bow down to them and do what they want you to do. Um,
absolutely. Yeah.
so so you will, yeah, you just keep in mind that, yes, there's certain boundaries, some of them you are getting a bit of pushback sometimes. But
Yeah.
that's okay, that's just human nature, some
Mhm.
people don't like change. So
Mhm.
but yeah, I think if you try to explain the reasons why, then they might understand it, and if they don't, that's their problem, it's not yours.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. Well, I think that might be a wrap for this one.
I think so.
Um, I think we're not 100% sure, but we are trying to get a special guest for our next episode, which will be in about a month's time, so keep your ears and eyes peeled for that one. We'll let you know more when we know more.
Um,
So thank you for listening. And if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and share with your friends. You can also follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Inspired Actions Co. You can check out our website, inspiredactionsco.com. And we have some exciting news, Kat, don't we?
we do. We are actually in the process of starting a community on school. I'm not sure if you've heard about that. It's SKOOL, but we'll release more details about that. There'll be courses, there'll be information, there'll be a whole lot of stuff going on in there.
There'll be free
Um,
free things as well as paid things.
Free things, paid things, there'll be healings, there'll be life coaching, and there'll be discounts for products. Like,
Yeah.
we're excited.
Lots of different stuff. Yeah, it'd be really cool. So, all right, we shall see you, hear you, or you'll hear us. We won't see you. Unfortunately, it doesn't kind of go that way, but
We'll talk soon.
we'll talk soon.